Pan murk, pound murk, no murk. Waffles, no syrup. Jelly, no jelly, nothing. Oatmeal, no sugar. Oatmeal, no sugar. Nothing. Where is my murk? No murk, 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 no murk, 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 no murk. Where is my murk? No murk, 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 no murk, 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 no murk. Where is my murk? Bitch, don't know where my murk is gonna. I'ma get my murk. Where is my murk? Where is the murk? Where is the murk? What? I tell you, niggas don't know what a murk is, yo. Y'all stupid for that, man. That's a chasa, man. That's a chasa. Oh my God.
El tequila cazador se elabora a partir de una receta de 100 años de antigüedad. Eso nuestra etiqueta está inspirada en el ciervo originario del Jalisco. Sí, es el alma de la fiesta.
Yo, what is good, people? Yo, we gotta talk about Drake again because now the boy is out here stirring the pot once again. First Rick Ross, then Khaled, then ASAP Rocky, but this time he might have reached a little too far back into the vault. So the internet is absolutely losing it after Cherokee, a straight up legend in the adult film game, decided she had enough of being a lyric in Drake's latest project, Iceman.
Hey, yo, this nigga
I said you weren't doing today. I am doing great.
Like I said, this nigga talking about old shit.
Never defeated.
This nigga stupid.
I'm just doing me, y'all. It's gonna be another crazy day today. And let's go.
Instead of taking the name drop as a compliment, Cherokee clapped back hard on social media, basically telling Drake to move on. Her exact words, rapping about ish that happened over 20 years ago. She didn't stop there, though she doubled down, calling the move disrespectful and saying Drake should have kept it private because women deserve to be respected. Yo, this is wild. Let's get into it. Now let's look at the track that started this whole mess. The track is called Make Them Pay off the new Iceman album. Drake slides on the beat and drops this line. Shout out to Cherokee D and Sky Black because they were at my birthday when I was searching for Big Booty Ebonese. Yeah, he really took it there, name dropping not one but two icons of the adult film industry in the same breath.
Some of y'all don't know nothing about Cherokee and Sky Black because you were not there. You were not there. I was. And it seems like Drake was as well. You know what I'm talking about? But see, since y'all are not familiar with the history of the intimate arts, see, y'all didn't get that line that man had on Iceman. Y'all didn't get that. Y'all didn't get that. I did, though. Because, see, I know that Cherokee possesses arguably the greatest backside in the history of the intimate arts. When these women go and get these damn BBLs, she is what they aspire to be. And she ain't even had no damn BBL. That ain't nothing but collard greens and cornbread. Meanwhile, Sky Black is arguably the greatest of all times in the art of seductive suction. If you understand what I'm saying. You can line them all up. Tiana Trump, Corinne Stephens, you name it. This woman right here will snatch your soul up out you. Y'all gotta consume the fine arts. You gotta consume the fine arts. See, when you consume culture, it helps you understand what these rappers be talking about in these songs. It helps you get all these little references. I knew who he was talking about as soon as he said it. Why? Because Cherokee and Sky Black are historic.
But what's the real story behind that lyric? See,
The
back
real
in the
story
early
behind that
2000s,
lyrics.
before he was a global superstar we know today, I mean, these women were his
You mean
childhood
the whole
favorites.
ass nigga
And he
that he
actually
always
invited them
was,
to his birthday party.
even before
Since
today?
Drake is now 39,
Fuck
the man
Drake.
says he was probably about 18 or 19 at the time, while Cherokee
Look
would
at
have
this
been
bitch
around
ass nigga.
30.
Go
Yo,
back to
Drake was
Degrassi.
basically living out his childhood fantasy, and years later, he's still holding on to that memory tight enough to put it on his album. That's crazy. This isn't just a one-time mention. Drake has been a super fan of Cherokee and other goated stars for a minute now. Remember back in 2020
I'm
during
Drake.
quarantine?
I'm a
He
rap
hopped on
about
Joe
shit that
Budden's
happened
IG
20
Live and
years
admitted
ago.
that Cherokee and Jada Fire were still in his top searches on his thickest Apple laptop he keeps in storage. He's always shown up to the legends who were in his top 5
Yeah,
for
you
years.
gotta be
And for
showing
Drake,
shit like
Cherokee is
that.
clearly the GOAT of that era. Some fans even say Cherokee is the blueprint that all
It's
these
Cherokee,
modern BBL
not
chasers are
whatever the
trying to
fuck you
emulate.
saying, bro.
Yo, but here's the million-dollar question. Why is Cherokee so mad? If you look at the numbers, being mentioned by Drake is usually a massive W for the bag. Other artists featured on Iceman saw their Spotify listeners
Don't want to be
skyrocket.
mentioned by
We're
a
talking
bitch
Molly
ass,
Santana
pussy
jumping from
ass, fuck ass
500k to
nigga.
nearly
What
8 million listeners in a few days. Fans are all over X saying that she should be happy about the new followers she's getting. Wouldn't this be a legendary look for her brand? I mean, you're being cemented in hip-hop history by the biggest artist in the world, but Cherokee ain't buying it. And just because they might have done the business back in the day, she feels like some things should stay personal. The whole industry on this triple album drop. Rick Ross hopped on IG immediately laughing at the album and calling it trash and 2 years too late. Rose was literally mocking Drake's lyrics, yelling bars sarcastically and telling everyone to stop glazing because the six card is officially washed.
Bars.
Damn.
Three albums of trash albums, 2 years
I don't
too
even
late.
fuck with Rick
What
Ross,
side
but
is
you know what
this?
he talking about.
Complex?
Trash.
The Glazer University.
The Glazer University.
Oh my God. I've been a long fan. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Mr. YouTube.
Shit is hilarious, bro.
Big three anyway. There was too many chefs in the kitchen. Bars. Come on, guys. Stop.
Bars.
Y'all gotta, let's all leave Lil Mans alone now, man. He did it. He dropped 3 mid projects. Hey, man, it was fun while it lasted. You're washed.
So now we're in a timeline where rappers are mad, the fans are debating, and even the
You're
goated
washed.
film stars from back in the day
Yo,
coming up with his
nigga.
revelations.
Here's the name of the Aubrey album, right, man? Damn, Champagne Poppy, they say them songs that you just streamed off your new project, right, man? Say that shit ain't dope. Comments crazy. And then Casanat, shout out to Casanat. He kept it real. They said that shit. Kai said that shit was ass. It's probably A minor.
It's a wild time to be a Drake fan for real. So what do you guys think? Is Cherokee right to be pressed about a 20-year-old story? Or is she fumbling a golden opportunity to trend? Who do you think is going to react next? Let us know in the comments, man. Keep it locked with All Urban Central. We out.
Peace, bitch. He said he out, yo.
Okay, people have been asking me my opinion about the roast, and here it goes. All right, everybody has their opinions. There's so many things going on, how people feel. I hope I balance this out right. As a comedian myself, as a guy who loves the edge, who loves pushing the envelope on racial, political, just all kinds of things. All right, listen. A roast is a roast. A roast has been around for a long time. Roasting started in the Friars Club back in the day. I mean, black people, we called it the dozens. When you roast them up, the dozens, you talk about them up. That's what you do. And a roast, the first televised roast was in 1974, Dean Martin roast. Go watch them for some historical context. And roasting was people you knew that I think you knew or had relationships with, and it was like sort of a family thing where you get to go in on them. Private lives, you go in. All right. I don't know all the rules to roasting. I was at the Flavor Flav roast. I remember I was at Flavor Flav roast, and Cat Williams was hosting, and they brought in Flavor Flav on a harness, right? And Cat Williams said, "I don't think if you all remember the flying monkeys from Wizard of Oz, you just saw one." That's what his first joke was. And then Cat Williams goes, "It's a roast, mother. It's a roast." It was, roasting is what it's called. Roasting. You're burning, mother. You're going in on people. See, I don't know the rules. I don't know. I think that everybody approved of this stuff because you have writers. You have writers. Every person has a right. Even Tiana Taylor was there, right? Tiana Taylor, The Rock, different people. Everybody has writers, and the writers write for the specific people. Okay, a lot of the writers were white, which I thought was imbalanced. It was imbalanced. There should have been more black writers. Okay, I think there should have been more black people who roasted Kevin Hart. I think, and maybe that this harmful wouldn't have really happened. It would have been sort of like, you know what I mean? It would have been a troubleshooter. But remember this, like I said, it's a roast. But also, who did you choose for the roast? I think it's your choices. You brought in Tony Hinchcliffe. Who is surprised at what he said? You can't be surprised. This is what he does. He called Puerto Rico a floating island of trash. This is what Tony Hinchcliffe does. That is his brand. He did not go outside of his brand. Shane Gillis. Shane is not as up as Tony Hinchcliffe, but Shane is gonna go in too. And it's a roast. That's very specific. It's not like, oh, let me just do my comedy special and talk. No, it's a roast. So a roast is like we're going in on your whether you I will give a them going in on Cheryl Underwood's husband's death. I don't know. Did Cheryl approve of that? We have to ask Cheryl. I don't know. Going at the George Floyd thing, I thought that was unnecessary. It was unnecessary, but then again, it's a roast. But I thought it was unnecessary, especially with this climate, especially with police brutality, which is rampant still. The hanging thing, because they're still hanging black people, young black people. With the Black American history and the oppression and what they're doing to black voters, the firing of black women, the getting rid of DEI and affirmative act, all this shit that is coming down on black people with this administration. And I just think timing wise, it was like, yo, what the hey, but then again, it's a roast. You understand where I'm coming from? I think it was the choices. It wasn't balanced enough. That's just my opinion. And as a comedian, I can't go, man, they shouldn't have said that. Yo, then again, it's a roast. Look at who you chose. I think maybe your choices were wrong. Your choices were wrong because everybody has a choice to be in a roast. Everybody has a choice to be roasted. You don't have to even participate in it. But once you're in, it's no holds bar. Roasts are either up or really up. That's what I know about roasts. They're either up or really up. Someone gonna be upset. But I understand black people's anger. Totally. I understand people getting offended, but then again, it's a roast, guys. It's a roast. I know Chelsea Handler did great. Cheryl Underwood came back and smacked everybody in the face, which is great, even though they went in on her crazy. It was cringy, but if Cheryl was fine with it, that's everybody we're grown up. We're grown, man. You make your own decision on what you want to do. So this is just my opinion. I mean, unless you have Tourette's. If you have Tourette's and you yell certain things out, then there's that too sometimes. But here's where I have a little bit of a problem because Kevin Hart actually showed up to George Floyd's memorial when he died, which was a great thing that Kevin Hart did. But then you're laughing at a joke about him on your roast. So the optics don't look too good. That's all I'm saying. The optics don't look good. It's like, ugh, and George Floyd's family is very upset about that. So if you show up to the memorial and then they do a joke, the optics do not look good. But I just wanted to give my opinion on it. I mean, it's not much of an opinion, and it's not right or wrong. You guys can feel any way you want about it, but I wanted to just bring that up, that it's kind of a catch-22, you know what I'm saying? And maybe they'll change the way they do roasts. Maybe they'll be more strategic on how they do roasts. I don't know. It is what it is, and I really believe, too, it was a money grab. It was a money grab. They got all the biggest people that were popular no matter what demographic they had. It was a money grab. It was all a money grab, and they said we're gonna do whatever we want to get this money. And I think comics that got insulted were like, "Hey man, I just want to be on. I just want to get my stuff." Everybody has their reasons for being there, all right. And a lot of people had their reasons for not being there. So that's my opinion. You guys let me know.
Stand in stuffed shells, don't wobble, don't slide. Stand up straighter than an old trail guide. Then hold your cheese, your hopes, your dreams, and your bees. Paso, yo, El Paso.
For those that don't know, there is a virus called the hantavirus. Yes, it's an important
Not
virus.
again.
Who is naming these?
The niggas at
I think this one's been around for a while.
It's been around for a long time.
That's what they said about the last one.
Yeah, that's true.
It is.
It
It's the same thing. And it's a virus that comes from
Rat shit, right?
yeah, I was gonna say a little different, but yes, yes, the excrement of rodents, including rats, but others too.
Okay.
And it can the death rates are very high if you actually get the infection. Whereas like with COVID, it was like 3 or 4% with people who were infected.
Yeah.
With this, I think it's like 15, somewhere between 15 and 25%.
Oh.
So if you get it, it's bad. There was a cruise ship that was on the vessel was actually on the water and had a very dangerous situation where people were sent home because of potential exposure. As of now, no one has shown any positive tests, and they're doing a trace to find out where people came from and who they've been in contact with to make sure we stay on top of this. But the danger is if this were to spread back to the United States, back to Europe, it could end up being a major public health disaster. As of now.
Did they dock the cruise ship yet?
Especially with you.
Yeah. They released the passengers.
Yeah, those passengers off. Yeah. So right now people are just quarantining and being safe. But I just want to keep people's eye on it because y'all remember the little thing that happened 6 years
sounds
ago.
a little familiar.
Yeah, so just keep your eyes open. But I think we're okay. The one downside, and this is the reason why I mentioned it also, is we don't have the same mechanisms we should have had to oversee it.
Trump
We're not in the World Health Organization.
Yeah.
We also had people whose job it is to analyze this very thing. And I think 61 of them were fired by Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Yeah.
So we're just not prepared for crisis
I
happens.
don't want to wear no masks.
Let me just ask you a
I
question.
don't think we'll have to, but I think we're going to be okay. But just keep watching.
If it do happen again, are they doing the PPP loans again?
Didn't you get enough last time?
I didn't get one last time. That's the thing.
God
If
wills
it
it,
ever
brother.
come back again, I'm not gonna.
Oh, please. We will never get that again.
I'm so tired.
You losers for being
Well,
judgmental.
hopefully nobody dies. I'm with you. I got PPP.
You sitting here saying the fate of the world is
This nigga talking about
doomed, and
PPP.
he talking about getting
Free
1,700.
money.
1,700. You know what nigga was?
Is he going out with a...
We'll get you 1,700, girl. It wasn't 17 that the niggas was getting.
Yeah,
Don't tell him, don't tell his rich ass
like
nothing.
250.
God,
Don't tell his rich ass
niggas wasn't
nothing.
playing.
Something crazy, man.
And he got it forgiven.
That was the beautiful part.
Okay.
I'm not going on no cruise
We
ship.
say, yo, I
Nothing
hate
good comes from
cruises.
cruise
I
ships.
think cruises are so gross. I think
love
it's like
cruises.
what's that thing, the smart one? When the a Peachtree dish. That's what I think of
Petri
cruises.
dish,
A
yeah,
big Peachtree dish. And people just get on it and get drunk and get sick, and it's gross. I've never been on it and I never will. Why would I want to go to an island where I have to travel 3 days on the boat, 6 days on the boat? I could just fly to said
That part.
island.
No, on God. However, the Ritz Carlton cruise,
Looks amazing.
the Four
Looks amazing.
Seasons cruise, and Armand cruise.
Well, hopefully they don't eat rat shit.
There's
No
no hopefully about it.
It's rats.
There's no hopefully about
I'm
it.
sure.
And that's how it
They
happens.
probably got cats
The
over
boat
there.
is
They take
made
something to tell
from
it,
rat
right?
skin.
It's
nigga.
rat.
You like cruises? You like cruises?
I've never been on a cruise. I
Yeah,
love
it's
love
just something
cruises.
that's not appealing to me.
Same.
I'm sorry. I don't like humans that much to be locked in them. You mean
Same.
that shit gross to
You
me.
ain't gotta be around
You
none of that shit.
opening
if
the
you don't
door,
want
it's
to.
a hallway full of go get Belgian waffles together as a unit. This shit
Yeah,
strange, bro.
none
We
of that.
just all down there hovering.
Oh, I love that.
You get a margarita. No, with strangers.
Hey,
that's
Mona.
disgusting.
Yeah, strangers.
Hey, Mona.
Now you want a picture and a hug? Bitch.
Mona,
Wind up in a sex
stay
call.
off of Carnival.
I've never been on a
Tell it all
cruise
is.
period. I've never been on a cruise period. I
Well,
don't like the idea of all the
everything you
cruises
saying,
like that.
But you sound like that. You go to resorts.
I don't even really like resorts. I've done resorts, but I prefer to stay with the people, where the people at. That's how I like to vacate. I don't like resorts where you all separate from everybody.
Just a couple quick facts, just because I was trying to pull up my numbers real fast, just so people have context. 3 people on that ship have already died.
Rest in peace,
Damn,
those
we're
people.
fucked.
Rest in peace.
There were 5 infections. So just to give you some context, 147 people were on the ship, 88 passengers, 59 crew members. Those on board represent 23 nationalities, including 17 Americans. So this means
This has a longer incubation period. So,
Yeah.
like it's not like COVID where you see the
right,
symptoms
and that's
right
why they're
away.
quarantining.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just saying we're not out of the woods again. It's still considered low risk.
What's this shit called?
Hanson.
Hantavirus.
Damn.
So Keep your fingers crossed.
And rest in peace to those people.
Yeah,
Rest in peace.
Fucking
Rest in
legend.
peace.
No, Joe Biden.
Lunch with the family just got way easier. With 3 biggie deals to choose from, everyone can get what they want. Hey, watch the braids. There's enough to go around. Biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
New York 811 presenta Grandes Riesgos, Grandes Multas. Los mejores excavadores conocen los riesgos y cómo evitarlos. Se comunican.
Well, let's talk about Diddy for a second.
Oh,
Since
man.
we
Not-
covered this a little bit
Not
last
again.
time.
Last time
Last
you
time we
Murder-
covered it a little
oh,
bit. Me and Murder went at it.
You seen the tape. Diddy's finished, man.
That tape, oh my God. Oh my, when you saw the tape, what'd you think?
He's finished. No Diddy. No, and you know, sometimes, look, this is what I say. In this game, just be humble, because it could be all over. All your friends, all your so-called friends, all the people at the party, nah, that shit is over.
Do you think it's really over though?
It's over, man. I just seen one of Justin's man's, Lil Larry, and he had a Branson bottle. He ain't have no tequila. He was in 50 section like this. And I'm like, damn, it's Diddy in them. But there's no friends in this shit. There's no love. It's all business. And once you learn that, that's when you know how to control the business. That's why I got to where I go. My friends, I know who my friends is. 50 Cent, Lloyd Banks, Sir, Uncle Murder. You know what I'm saying? I click. You know what I mean? I like, and go through what they go through, but I know who my friends is. You my friend too, Vlad.
Yeah,
you know that.
likewise.
But you know me, like, I'm not just one of them, like, for instance, you see how Takeoff was hanging when shit happened? Like, I'm not, rest in peace to him, but I'm not one of them just hang out with different people, different entourages. I'm not going, me and 50 beef and hang with Rick Ross. Like, I'm not one of them. I seen others do it. I think Buck did it, but that's just not me. You know, if I was in a gang, they would definitely say, I'm like, yo, nah, he's the loyal. I would have status because I'm not one of them forever of the game. That's just not me. You know what I'm saying? But we do it. It's the industry. So once Diddy shit is over, drinking Branson.
Here is my point though. Unless a person goes to prison, they die, or whatever job they have gets completely taken away and they're unable to independently put out anything because they depend on some employer,
right?
You're not really canceling people. You're just saying you don't like them. R. Kelly got canceled because he's in prison.
Let's talk about
Weinstein got canceled because he's in prison.
Let's talk about our business, right? You could do what we're doing, like trying to help the kids right now. Nobody could, but we can have a shootout, and negative energy, negative news always spreads faster in our business, in the streets, anywhere. Get shot, yo, there's 10 stories. Some shit happened, it's 20 stories. Negative news always spreads faster, right? So when you do something crazy, right? When you're, like I explained to you again, when you're a billionaire, right? And you hypothetically so-called, well, you beat an ass, it's on tape. You beat somebody's ass. Cassie is not a gangster chick.
No.
Girls I know would have whipped Diddy out the towel. They would have been rolling on the floor. They would have kicked him in the nuts. They would have maced him. They would have stabbed him. And I'm not, and that's just not saying, and that's girls I know.
Right, like Erica Mena. Erica Mena would not have taken
listen,
that.
I want to say any chick, any girl I know, like any strong woman I know, is not just going to let a man sit there and beat on them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I seen my friends get stabbed by their girlfriend.
Really?
And still be back with
you. Actually saw it?
No, not me see it, but
Okay,
we heard about it. He got
yeah.
stabbed. My man stabbed with a butcher knife. He told me.
With a butcher knife?
Yes, but he's my guy.
Did he stay with the girl?
But you know,
did he stay with the girl?
Yes, that's his girl. That's my man, though. I love him. I don't judge him for that. That's his girl. That's regular. To me, that's stuff you see in the neighborhood. And it's sad to say we used to shootings, violence is regular to us where we come from. You understand what I'm saying? So for a P. Diddy and a Cassie.
Hey, what's up? It's Ski Monster, my man. Tony Ayo goes crazy and he goes off the dealer.
You said that when you saw that tape of Diddy beating Cassie, you were saying that it was over. I don't think Diddy can ever be canceled, man. But that was some bullshit. He was kicking Cassie on the floor. That was cruelty, man. He was wrong for doing those type of stuff. So we needed to hold him accountable. Just because Cassie is soft and you was using her, that don't give you the right to put your hands on a female and do her like that. That was some real sucker shit. That was the nail in Diddy's coffin. That was some bullshit, man. But it is what it is. You need to watch a full video, man. A lot of detail is in this shit. Actually, subscribe. Let's get it.
Everybody know Cassie ain't built like that. She's a cool girl. She just seemed like a nice girl. You wouldn't even try to put a hand on her. But you dragging her down the hallway, nah, man. Girls we know, and I stabbed, kicked in his nuts. The towel wouldn't even have been on. No Diddy. The towel wouldn't even have been on.
Well, I interviewed Roger Bonds about this whole situation.
Yeah, Bonds, my guy.
And I actually put you on FaceTime with him, and that was the first time you guys talked since prison, right?
And look, Bonds, that's the first time I spoke to him since prison. I was on Rikers Island with him, C-73, too lower. Shout to him, shout to my man Spank. They ran the house. Spank was he was blood, but his advantage was he was Spanish. So he knew, when how to speak Spanish. The Spanish guys liked him. And Bonds, Bonds was, he was in the house, slapped us up. You know what I'm saying? Not me, but you know what I'm saying? That's my man. I was Tony Ayo in Population to make up stories. Yo, did this and did that. Because there was a point where I had beef, right? And I didn't even know I had beef. It was just like, I had hits on my head from certain niggas. I was supposed to have 20 grand on my head. A nigga couldn't rob me on the island, punk me on the island, because I'm not going back home to do that. I used to be on a bus and niggas be like, yo, I heard niggas stab Yayo up, because nobody knew what I looked like. They just knew Tony Yayo was on the island.
They're talking about you in front of you?
I'll be on a bus. Yo, I heard Tony Yayo just got poked up. Mind you, I was on the island with Styles P. He was in another, but at that time Styles P was locked up. You know what I'm saying? So come on, bro. C-73 too low. He'll tell you, I'm walking around like it's not, and I don't try to glorify it, but I'm not gonna let no nigga take nothing out my bucket or do nothing to me like that. Yeah, Benzino's a clown though. He's a nigga, he's a clout chaser, nigga that he ain't got no money. Yeah. Benzino got money? You think Benzino got money?
No. And he had that video saying that the legal age of consent is 16 or something. That's when Coy Ray said, I'm done.
Yeah, that's I can't. That's pedophile. That was pedophile vibes. You know what I'm saying? But
and
I don't like to talk about that. He gonna go on and try to live off the clout. Nobody think about Eminem shut down years ago. Source Magazine was shut down years ago off one dude, Benzino. Eminem. You dropped the ball.
Yeah. And I will say this. I haven't mentioned this before, but I'll just put this on camera.
Benzino should have told you how I ran down on him in Miami. That's what he should have told you.
That's what he's mad at.
He should have told you how we ran down on him in Miami. That's the year Suge got shot. I was an active. I was in the streets. Ain't nothing with me. I was never hiding as a rapper, bro. He should have told you how we ran down on him, me and my mans, and was like, yo, stop talking about us in the Source Magazine. And that's the year Suge got shot. That's the year when there was 100,000 Zopac in the street. Like it wasn't a lot of shit going on. We ain't had beef with the Suges, the Worlds. I don't want to keep naming all these real street had beef with that are either in the feds, dead, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that's one thing about G-Unit. We wasn't trying to. It's just when you on top, it's gonna get at you. That's just how it is.
Yeah, man. I remember
and that's how it was at that point, huh?
After one of my interviews with you, and I brought him up, and I think I mentioned that he had threatened my payment person, so that's why we couldn't have him back on the show. Yeah. He sent me all these voicemails and text messages. Yo, Vlad, go up when I see you, and I'm prepared to go to prison, blah blah. And I'm looking at this going if I was a petty dude, I could hand this over to the police. This is a terrorist threat. But I'm not going to do it because I know that he's in a bad space. You know what I'm saying? But if I was petty, I could have been Vlad, I'm scared for my life, and here you go. I'm not going to do it though, Benzino. I'm going to let you just keep going on with your life. But you can't be doing shit like that. You can't be sending people especially who are civilians, threatening text messages like this.
Yeah, you
It's gonna catch up to you. Someone's gonna call the police on you.
Look, if
I'm
somebody
not gonna do it, but someone's gonna do it.
right, and
So
if,
just
and
calm
if he's
down.
threatening the person that's cutting him a check, right?
Exactly.
That means you're thirsty for money.
And it wasn't
Right.
even that much money.
Now look,
And it was like, Benji, do you really think we're not
Yeah.
gonna pay you $1,000? That's how much it was. It was $1,000.
Yeah.
Do you really think we're gonna run off for $1,000 with you, Benzino?
right,
The
but you,
production cost me more than $1,000.
you know what it is with the industry? I've learned in the industry, people are smart enough to know that nobody's gonna do nothing. So they carry themselves away like a Benzino talk about me or him or nigga talk about 50, and they'll feel like, all right, none of them do nothing until you run into the right and something happen. And I'm not saying something's gonna happen. I'm just saying that's how people view shit like, oh, ain't nothing gonna happen. Because 9 times out of 10 in the industry, ain't nothing gonna happen. Sometimes shit just happen. And if it happened, it's some street shit.
Yeah, I mean, with you guys, something go happen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I've seen enough of
I
a
mean,
track record.
If you don't know, I just look out, man. It's always,
If you notice, I've never had any
we've been
bad
kicking
words
ass.
about G-Unit.
G-Unit been kicking ass since 205,
Yeah,
man.
you
We
know what I'm
just,
saying? Me and
we
Lloyd
humble.
Banks have had a few words here and there,
Yeah,
but in
thanks
general,
for
I don't, in terms of you, 50, whatever,
Yeah.
I don't talk about none of y'all.
yeah, leave 50 alone, please.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
Going back to the Diddy story real quick.
Uh-huh.
After interviewing Roger Bonds and doing like a good 2.5 hour
Yeah,
sit
shout out to my
down,
man Roger Bonds.
what I realized at the end of the conversation, we talked about this in our interview,
Mhm.
is the reality when you look at that whole relationship, Diddy and Cassie were both junkies at one point. They were possibly, no, it's true.
Nah,
They were popping pills the whole time.
bugging, Black.
Diddy
You
was
be
going
Black.
in and out
You
of
be
rehab.
bugging. You be bugging.
They would sit there on these drug binges for 3-4 days and then go get IVs
It's
to
not,
try to recover.
it's not about that. It's about the abuse. That shit. Listen,
But the
man,
abuse comes with
listen,
the drugs, is what I'm saying.
listen,
You
listen.
never seen crackhead couples that are
Listen.
beating each other up all the time and then get
what
back
I'm saying
together?
is this. It's about the abuse. Like, all right, cool. There's dudes that, like, you ever see a dude arguing with his girl in the street and somebody just run up and get in the business, somebody knock you out, and they don't even know what's going on. They just see you arguing with your girl. Those are usually the guys that seen their mother get beat. You got to always keep that in mind. Domestic violence, shit is real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that shit take you back to like that. That's why you see him following Diddy now. That shit could take you back to your moms might have got slapped by your dad or dragged, and that shit is not cool. But it brings you back on just for no reason. These people don't love you. You think people love us in this industry? Come on. Once you think that all the parties in the Ciroc going, these people don't love you, bro. It shows because once some shit happen, who you got?
Yeah.
See, for me, I don't give. I've never been at a brunch, or was never my intentions. Like I said, that brought me into this game. And even if they didn't want to, fine. I got to make a way. That's how the game is, bro. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you go? So if you're a billionaire and you make mistakes, and I don't have nowhere close to $1 billion, like I tell you again, say, yo, you stupid. You just bag. That's it. That's how the public view shit. If I fall and trip now, a camera. I done seen a girl could be drowning or something, or shot. The camera right there. People don't get, bro.
Yeah.
So just pray and stay humble.
Right. And lots of bags over the years.
Of course. I remember there was times G-Unit was back from every club in New York City. No G-Unit, no Dipset. That was the shit. Hip Hop Police run every club. We couldn't get no club for years. I was number 1 on the list at a point. But I don't glorify that shit. It was shit that was just happening.
Yeah. Yeah, remember, we talked about this last time. You got out of prison, or you got out of jail, used your brother's passport, and went right back to jail.
Right. But see, my whole thing was too, I love the streets. So when I had Bentleys and I had Benzes, I love to go Harlem, Queens, Brooklyn. I love the streets. Like, and sometimes you got to realize the streets don't love you. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I love the streets, but until this day, I still love the streets, but I don't hang out on corners and kick it like that. If it ain't about no money, I usually don't come outside, but I still love the streets. You know what I'm saying? I love it, but it could be an addiction.
Well, when you guys were doing the Final Lap tour, Busta Rhymes was opening up for you guys at one point.
Right.
The U.S. part, I think, of the tour?
Yeah. No, he came to some of Europe.
Oh, some of the Europe tour?
Yeah.
Okay. Buster's a legend, by the way.
Yes.
One of the greatest hip hop
Yes,
performers.
of course, yeah.
Period. Him and Wyclef, I put
Right.
near the very top
Right.
out of all performers.
Okay.
But recently, 50 and Buster were going having a friendly
Oh
back
yeah,
and
they
forth.
put the picture. Yeah. I've seen. Yeah, that's.
And 50 put Buster can now wear this to humor harmony.
Yeah, I mean, you know how 50 is, man. 50's crazy, man. That's all humor, man.
That outfit is
Then I
horrible.
seen
Buster.
Buster post something up. But you see, you know, 50's crazy. He can dish what he takes. Put him on. Who you think is the 5 people? Let's think of the 5 people I would never want to argue with on the internet. 50. Who would you say? Look, hold on. Let me get my 5. 50. Charleston White. Right?
I've argued with him before.
But he keeps going Charleston White. Mac 100, you would say?
Okay.
Who else would you put there? I know 50, Charleston White, Whack 100. Who
Kendrick Lamar.
I'm just you talking about Instagram. I mean,
Instagram.
We talking about
He's not an IG guy.
you
I just
love Kendrick right now. You ain't Drake right now. Come on, we got to be.
Drake. I'm a Drake fan.
Nah, I felt like it was a good battle, man.
That was a great battle. Okay, so I see where you're going with this.
I'm
Okay,
saying
50,
like
social media.
50, you don't want to 50 on there. He'll kill you on the gram. I said Charleston White because Charleston White he goes crazy. Whack 100 because Whack 100 will put up your address and all kinds of stuff.
1090 Jake.
You think 1090?
He'll put out some paperwork on you. You didn't even know existed.
That's true too.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different thing. I'm just saying like
Boosie.
Yeah.
Boosie will go hard at you.
Yeah.
Because remember, Boosie and Blue were going at it.
Boosie.
And then, unfortunately, I don't know if Boosie's my man, but I don't agree. He basically pointed out that Young Blue's child, I think, was autistic, and he kind of took a shot at that.
I like Young Blue, Boosie. I like both of them. I try to stay out of it. Hopefully, they can work it out. You know.
Yeah.
They both got a lot of money. I kind of stay out of their issues, but and Blue hard, and, Boosie hard, but it's the industry. You just stay out the way. You stay out of people's beef. When I got beef, I don't expect nobody to jump in anything for me.
Yeah, me too.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah. But you know how the industry is. You have to choose a side.
Unfortunately.
Right.
And trying to be neutral sometimes gets you messed up on both sides.
Right.
Both people you might be neutral.
Yeah, right. And people could look at it a certain way. That's like what you were saying with the Game thing. Like, yeah, Game at the show, that might have been good, but when Game dissed, Eminem, Dre, he might be thinking about Dre's there.
Oh, yeah, Dre.
But you saying you don't got no beef with Dre. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, when you do shit like that, sometimes, people don't forget. You got to think the gatekeepers, the guys with the big, we call them gatekeepers, or you would just say to get money?
I don't know if there really are gatekeepers.
There ain't no gatekeepers. The richest, it's like,
yeah, you can say that.
When you get into a certain part of rich, right, Vlad, it's just like if somebody says something about you, it's over for life.
Yeah, it's all relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're I think that's what people don't understand, right? Like,
you might could reconcile.
I feel like in order to reconcile, you have to be in a similar space as that person. If that person's way above you, they have no reason to reconcile.
Right. If a person's way on a whole nother level,
there's no reason for them to step down and work it out with
They don't even need to talk to you.
Ever.
Like
in life.
Yeah. And that's why, I respect certain artists because, they've been to a certain level and they still do shit.
Yeah.
As for the community, like 50 with the G-Unity Foundation, the G-Unity shit, like, them kids they learn all kinds of shit. They get to go to all the suites that 50 got in Houston and all these places. They get to learn things, you know what I'm saying? And giving back is important, right? When you
But man, this video is interesting, man. Tony Ayo speaking facts. He said what Diddy did to Cassie just because Cassie was soft. He was abusing her. He was using her to do freak off. Man, Diddy was wilding, man. He was crazy. He was kidnapping people, blowing up cars, allegedly. He was doing a lot of crazy shit, man. And Diddy was taking a lot of drugs. And he thought that he was untouchable. So you can be a billionaire and be doing dumb shit and doing some stupid shit. And it's just wrong. It is unacceptable for you to put your hands on a female and do her like that. So Diddy need to hold accountable for all of the bullshit that he been doing. So a lot of people are saying that we're kicking Diddy when he's down, but it's a downfall of Diddy. Everyone is working together so that Diddy can get more time in jail. Shit is just getting crazy by the second, by the minute, man. Diddy got a government takedown, and he tried to sue that liquor company, and he won that case. So Diddy thought that he was untouchable and he can play with anybody because this stuff been going on for a long time. The bodyguard said the same shit. They saw Diddy abuse Cassie and did not do shit because they was getting money, they was getting hush money, so they're doing a lot of interviews so that they can feed their families now. So we need to speak the truth, man. So everything what Diddy done, I can't say that Diddy can get canceled, but he's a very good producer. He know what he's doing. He's very influential in this rap game. Diddy has been in this game for a long time, man. He put a lot of people on, but Diddy robbed almost all of his artists. Everybody got robbed. That is just crazy. He robbed Biggie Smalls, he robbed Maze, he robbed everybody, and the list goes on. So there are a lot of people coming out with some crazy lawsuit about what Diddy did to them. A lot of gay rumors. Kirk Barr said that Diddy forced him to give him head. Man, that was just some wild shit, man. Because nobody can force me to do those shit. But Little Rod, I don't believe nothing that come out of Little Rod mouth because no way. Every day you are awake, your ass is sore, and you did not do shit. You like it because Diddy promised you that he was gonna give you 250 bands. He promised you that he's gonna make you be the best producer there, and you believe because Diddy was quite convincing because he can pull string, he can make shit happen. Diddy was very powerful, man. So a lot of people are saying that I don't think Diddy can ever be canceled, but no one is gonna respect him like they used to. So a lot of shit that happened, all of these heinous hack, all of this shit that Diddy did, he needed to hold accountable, man, because it was just wrong. So when Diddy is in jail and he have to learn what he did wrong, what was a bad step that he took in his life. But it is just crazy, man. But it is what it is, man. Like, share, subscribe. Ski Monster Mind. God bless day.
Last night I watched the Armand Wiggins interview with Flash. This is Flash right here. He's one of the escorts that Diddy and Cassie hired for their freak-offs. He was not subpoenaed in the case or anything, but he did like just share some freak-off details with us, and that's Armand over there in his Diddy outfit. So Flash was working as a stripper in California, and one day he got a phone call from a woman saying that her and her husband were interested in hiring him to do a show for them, and they would pay him $1,500, but he had to come immediately. It was like, I think he said 3 o'clock in the morning or something when they called. And then like when he was halfway there, the girl calls him back and says, bring baby oil. It has to be Johnson & Johnson. If you can't get that, don't come. So he goes to CVS and buys the biggest bottle of Johnson & Johnson baby oil he could find. He said he bought the $40 bottle. When he got to the house, Cassie greeted him in a wig. Mind you, he didn't know it was Cassie yet. He didn't know what was going on. But she greeted him. He had his bag with his stripper clothes in it. She said, you won't be needing that. She sits him down at the couch. He looks at the coffee table. He said it was just a whole bunch of drugs on the table. Everything was like all sectioned off into different categories. There was white stuff over here, pink stuff over there, blue stuff over here, green stuff over there. Just anything you could want. He said he didn't take any of it. Smart. You won't be taking drugs in a stranger's house. He said he brought his own weed. He just sits his own stuff. He don't be dabbling in other people's substances. So they were just like sitting on the couch, vibing, listening to music. At one point, Cassie goes into the bedroom and she's going for like a whole hour. Flash fell asleep. When he woke back up, he realized the music stopped. So he turns the laptop on to start the music back on. And he realizes that the laptop has a Bad Boy logo on it. And then he starts putting 2 and 2 together and realizes the girl is Cassie. Cassie told him not to touch the laptop and like just, don't be touching shit. But then eventually he makes his way into the bedroom and there is a masked man just kind of sitting in a chair in the bedroom with like a shirt on, no bottoms, the pecker just out. And like he said, Diddy had his own baby oil. Like he had a whole personal bottle of baby oil just for himself. He said that Diddy started directing Cassie on what to do. He made Cassie take his shirt off and start rubbing oil on his chest. Diddy told her to pull his dick out. It was really weird. It was really weird. So eventually they got to the part where like they had to have sex with each other. And Flash said he couldn't get all the way hard because Diddy was in the background just beating off and it was loud. Like you could hear him beating his meat. Like that's how hard he was going with him and his personal bottle of baby oil. So I guess Diddy realized that Flash couldn't get it up because, you know, Diddy was distracting him. So Diddy like kind of walks out of the room, and then you hear him yell from the living room, "That dick better be hard." But anyway, with Diddy out of the way, he was able to get all the way hard, and like he started smashing Cassie. So he says like a few minutes into it, he starts hearing the beating off noise again, and then realizes Diddy is like back in the room, back in the little easy chair. And there's basically like secret doors and shit in the room, so Diddy can come and go without you realizing. Flash ends up finishing on Cassie's chest, and then he leaves to get in the shower. Now, he didn't find out until the court case that Diddy was actually playing in, you know, the splooge, if you will. So, you know, that was happening. But Flash said that they paid him $5,000. Remember, he only agreed to $1,500. He got $5,000. And he said like he was a regular. He said he met up with them 8 different times. 7 of those times he got $5,000. One time he only got $3,800. But he said he made enough money with Diddy and Cassie that he was able to put down a down payment on a house. So, you know, some of them was only getting like $500 and $800. He was getting thousands. I don't know what was so special about Flash, but shout outs to him. And Armand was just grinning ear to ear the whole time. You could tell Armand wanted a piece. I'm not mad at it though. Great journalism. And I just gave a summarized version. If you want like the whole thing, go watch it on Armand's YouTube channel. You will not regret it.
I'm Octavia, and I live in White.
I was just about to start the grinder, and then I spotted this. Welcome back to Nate the Hoof Guy. After just a couple passes of the knife, a black oxidation ring starts to appear. You'll find that anytime a piece of metal gets lodged. I actually thought this was just going to pop right out. Guess not. lot of times when you find a piece of metal, you can't really tell what it is. And this is no different. It looks like it's almost round. And after I poke this hole, or poke the screwdriver in there and clear the gunk out, guess what? It is. Now, even though I'm pretty sure that didn't go all the way through, I'm still going to dish this area out and make it nice and smooth in there. The reason I'm doing that is because these cows are going to go out on pasture here pretty quick. And if I leave that hole in there, it's just going to pack full of little tiny rocks, which eventually could cause problems. So as I dish this out, we'll make this nice and smooth. We'll leave that sole deeper on both the top and bottom. So it'll act just like kind of like the soles of our shoes, where we'll have some treads in there almost. So once this gets cleaned out, we'll give it a quick trim, and then this foot will be down. On to the next one. I like it when that's the outcome, and so does 30-20 in this case. Now on to cow number 2. As you can see with this one, this claw is enlarged, and the problem, well, it lies right here. So a little context with this particular cow. She is 12 years old. So what we have to think about when we're dealing with a cow of that age is that this particular claw is enlarged. That doesn't necessarily mean that there is something going on in there active right now. Now with her, there actually is, but just because we see that enlarged claw, that can actually be something that's happened many years prior, and that claw is going to stay enlarged. It's not going to go back. In fact, it's not just the outer parts of that claw that become enlarged, it's actually the inside as well. That pedal bone on the inside, that can become larger as well. So we have to be careful of that when we're making that trim in future times, because we don't necessarily want to go too far down with that sole, because once again, that claw is enlarged. So if we were to lower that just as low as that medial claw, or the claw on the left, we could actually be thin soling this particular claw. So you have to kind of read that as we make these trims, and that way we don't have to worry about creating a thin sole situation on an already enlarged, compromised claw. Now, another thing you'll commonly see with an enlarged claw like this is that redness modeled throughout that claw. Once again, because the pedal bone on the inside has become larger, then it's going to create a smaller space in there and put more pressure on that corium. So that's why you see that pinks and reds throughout that claw. That's really common. Also, these defects up above, those can be more common as well because of this claw being compromised in previous times. So you got to kind of take all of those things into account when you're making a trim. Understanding her age and understanding what that claw is telling you by its appearance helps guide you through the trim. Now, a lot of times these will track all the way out up top at the hairline. However, this one didn't do that. So what I have to do is just work my way around these edges, finding all of the separated hook horn that I can and removing it. Now with this case, and with a lot of cases where you see an enlarged claw, I'm going to use a block simply to allow this other claw to rest, even if there wasn't an active problem here. Because once again, we know that that claw is compromised. You can see those signs throughout that claw. It's a perfect time to allow it to rest, give it some extra time, especially with a cow of this age. It gives her more time to be, or allows her to be more comfortable with that block on that claw. The only thing you got to be careful of, obviously, is overloading it for too long a period. But a good rest period is perfect for a situation like this. Gives her a break and gives that claw a break. Now, this white line defect really is not that bad. In fact, most of it is healed up. There's just a tiny little bit left up there. So we're going to get that sprayed out, and we're going to get it wrapped. So if this cow is 12 and she's considered to be older, how old do cows live? Well, the oldest cow that I've ever trimmed was 19 years old, confirmed age, I should say. I did trim one that the farmer claimed was 30 years old. However, that may have been an exaggeration. You never know with farmer stories. But generally speaking, over 10, that's an older cow. Average age, I'd say, of the cows that you see on this channel are anywhere between 3 and 7 years old. This girl, well, she's starting to show her age a little bit. But guess what? So am I.
This shit acting like it's on some bullshit. Yeah, I know that's weird.
Damn, son. You done shitted yourself, boy. Yes. Ikwensu Ocha. Means white devil. Computer. Top light green. Swear, you got some garbage ass lenses. Get out of here. Stupid. This is dumbass shit. But you're just gonna look stupid as fuck. Don't even fucking work, right? It's the only shit that looks stupid as hell. Radioactive, radioactive. See what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? She look dumb though. Bullshit, yo. What? computer. Shut off the top light in 5 minutes.
Okay, I'll turn off the top light in 5 minutes.
Yeah. All right. Shit work like that.